One of my favorite rules when it comes to credit cards is only place purchases on your credit card that you have money for. If you don't have money for it, as tempting as it may be, don't do it. Because honestly, the fees will come back to bite you and you don't want that. So let's say that your grocery shop usually costs about £20 a week. Although I don't know how realistic that is now that we're in a cost of living crisis, but rather than paying that £20 in cash or using a debit card, you can place that order onto your credit card, and that way when your statement is generated at the end of the month, because it's money that you already had, you can pay back the statement in full and not incur any late fees or any interest on the minimum payment amount. And in doing that over a long period of time, you'd be building your credit score. What is a credit score? A credit score is a number that you get based on how good you are at repaying back money that you've borrowed. And it is calculated based on a number of different things, including how you've handled money in the past and how long you've had your credit account for. And the reason why we care about a credit score is because the better or higher your credit score is, the more likely it is that you'll get good products at better interest rates if you are looking at mortgages or looking to borrow money for any other means. Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Dr. Uyiosa and this channel is on all things health, business and finance. My goal is for us to get healthier together whilst making better money and business decisions. The second thing that I'd advise you to do is pay your bills on time, okay? Well, there's one thing that you're going to take away from this video. Remember that Uyiosa said, I need to pay my bills on time. Reason being, if you pay your bills on time, then it means you're not going to incur a late fee and therefore have to pay any additional interest. And we're not going to pay interest unless we have to. We're not giving away money for free, okay? Money is hard to come by. So by not missing payments and paying on time, you avoid that trap of missed payments. And one thing that people don't know is every single time you miss a payment, a log is actually made on your credit history, and that can ruin or lower your credit score, which won't help you in the long run. Now, if this is something that you struggle with, there are a couple of things that you can do to combat this. First, set an alarm, put a date in your calendar that says bill due, but rather than waiting for it to be due on a particular day, set the reminder 2 to 3 days beforehand to give yourself some leeway in case you do forget despite the reminder. And the second thing that you can do is contact your credit card provider and ask them to change the date at which your statement is generated. So for those who get paid at the end of the month, it might make sense for your credit card statement to be also generated at the end of the month. So as soon as you're paid money by your job, then you can take that money and pay for your credit card in full. My third advice would be to avoid a store-like credit card. So if you haven't heard of a store-like credit card, it's basically a credit card that is provided by a retailer. So we'll take Debenhams for example. Debenhams might encourage you to get a credit card, and they may say that you'd get additional points if you use it, etc, etc. Now, the reason why I tend to avoid store-like credit cards is because the interest rates tend to be higher. And so if you do miss a payment or if you are late in paying a statement amount, the amount that you are charged on top of the amount that you already owe is a lot. So it's better to just avoid that rather than to fall into that trap to begin with. And the second thing is that some store-like credit cards actually have a restriction, so you can't use them everywhere, which kind of takes away from the benefit of having a credit card and trying to improve your score and improve your credit trail. My fourth advice would be for you to check your credit score online. There are loads of different sites out there that allow you to do this for free. Examples include sites like Experian, ClearScore, etc. I do have a feeling that ClearScore does have a fee attached to it, so bear that in mind when you are looking at that as an option. But the reason why these sites are good is because they will show you the types of information that other people can see about your financial information, such as the cards that you have, how long you've had them for, any history of any missed payments or late fees, any CCJs, etc. And so if the information on there is incorrect and as a result is having a negative effect on your credit score, it allows you to contact the relevant bank to get that information sorted and addressed to help improve your credit score in the long run. And the last thing that I'm going to mention is keep your credit utilization low if you already have a credit card or are about to get one. Now, I'll be honest, this is a concept that I came across a few months ago that I found really interesting. According to research that I did, it is recommended that you keep your credit utilization as low as 30%. So I'll give you a practical example to help explain what credit utilization is. Let's say you have a credit card and you have a credit amount of $1,200 which you can use every month. Well, based on the information that I've just gave you, it's recommended that you shouldn't spend more than £360 a month. Reason being, if you are spending more than 30%, it shows to lenders that you are too dependent on credit, and that can be a red flag and actually reduce your credit score in the long run, which is something that you wouldn't want. There are different ways in which you can combat this. The first is by increasing your credit limit. So rather than having a credit limit of $1,200, you can increase it to $3,000 or $10,000, etc. Again, this is dependent on whether or not the bank is willing to give it to you based on your current financial history, as well as the cost of living crisis that we are currently in. If you are to increase your credit limit, then you have to make sure that your base living is the same. Otherwise, if you increase your limit but you're also increasing your monthly expenses, then you may still not fall within the 30% window. The second thing that you can do is split your payments. So a certain percentage can be paid by debit card or cash, and then the remaining amount can be paid using your credit card. But remember, like I said, if you're going to place a purchase on your credit card, make sure it's something that you have the money for in real time so that you're not trapped in high interest rates and you're less likely to fall for the traps of late fees. And that brings me to the end of this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Otherwise, I will see you in my next video. And before you click off, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share this with someone else who also needs to learn about improving their credit score.